I was in a restaurant one time, and it was a cafeteria. And I'm just eating my meal, and all of a sudden I just noticed this huge guy, you know, comes walking in with his wife, and you couldn't miss him, bodybuilder. And as soon as I saw him, I had this impression. I mean, I've never seen this guy. And I knew it was God. And he began to speak to me. And it's just like you said, we do need to know the word, we obviously. But you feel something, and every one of us have had this happen probably. It's so strong. And so I went over to the guy's table and his wife, and I you know, when I do something like this, I kind of like to break the ice. So I said to him, I said, excuse me, can I ask you a question? He said, sure. I said, have you ever lifted weights? And so, I mean, you know, I wanted him to like me too. So, and he laughed and he said, yeah, a little bit, you know. And I found out later he was Mr. Universe. So, and I don't want to say his name, but he was obviously. So anyway, I said to him, I said, well, the reason I came over though is because I feel like God told me to tell you something. And he looked at his wife and he said, would you sit down and tell me? So I sat down and I said to him, when you were a little boy, I saw you sitting in the lap of an older woman, I believe it was your grandmother, and you were crying. And your grandmother told you that if you would give your life to God and serve God, God could make you strong like Samson. And God has kept up his end of the deal, but you haven't kept up your end of the deal.
Wow.
Now, obviously, when you say something like this to a bodybuilder, you want to be right. You know? And he started crying, and he said, I told my wife that story on the way here to the restaurant.
Oh,
wow.
my goodness.